If there's one place where the war for your life is being fought, it's inside your head. Most people don't even realize it, but their greatest enemy isn't outside them. It's living rent-free between their ears. The mind is powerful. It can be your engine or your anchor. It could be the thing that pushes you to greatness or pulls you back into the mud. And the crazy part? It doesn't care what you feed it. It just grows whatever you plant. You feed it excuses, it gives you regret. You feed it fear, it gives you paralysis. But you feed it focus, strength, vision, now you've got something dangerous. People walk around blaming everything and everyone. My boss didn't promote me. My partner doesn't believe in me. The economy is rough. My past is holding me back. But nobody wants to talk about the stuff running on loop in their brain. The fear, the insecurity, the story they keep telling themselves over and over again. I'm not ready. I'm not smart enough. I always mess it up. That story is the poison. That inner dialogue is what determines whether you show up or shut down. You're not losing to life. You're losing to the thoughts you've accepted as facts. Most people treat their mind like a public bus. Anybody can jump in and steer it. Social media, the news, opinions of broken, bitter people. Just imagine this. You wake up in the morning, grab your phone, and before you've even brushed your teeth, someone else has already hijacked your thinking. You're letting other people rent space in your head and you're not even charging them. Worse, they're planting seeds of comparison, doubt, fear, and drama. And the more you water those thoughts, by giving them your time, your energy, your attention, the more they grow. And soon, they've taken over the garden. The mind will believe whatever you repeat. Say something enough times, and it becomes your truth. That's why you've got to protect it like your life depends on it. Because it does. You have to start auditing your thoughts. Where did that idea come from? Who told me that? Is this thought helping me or hurting me? You've got to start playing offense, not just defense. People wait until their mind breaks down before they decide to take it seriously. That's like waiting for your house to burn down before buying a fire extinguisher. If your mind is the battlefield, then discipline is your weapon. You train it daily. You don't just randomly hope it gets better. You sit with it, you challenge it, you reshape it. You stop letting it run wild like a spoiled kid. And you become the parent. You say, no, we're not thinking that today. You catch yourself when your mind goes into panic mode or negativity mode or victim mode, and you redirect it. You grab it by the collar and say, this is not how we're doing life today. The mind needs focus like the body needs food. You starve it of purpose and it starts feeding on distraction. That's why people can't sit still. That's why they scroll endlessly, binge watch garbage, and chase anything shiny. Their mind is starving for direction. But when you give your mind a target, when you wake up with clarity and intention, everything changes. Suddenly the noise quiets down. Suddenly the doubt starts losing power. Suddenly you're not reacting, you're commanding. And let's be real, your life is only as good as the decisions you make. And every decision starts in the mind. You choose to speak up or stay silent. You choose to grind or quit. You choose to grow or stay stuck. If your thinking is broken, your choices will be too. You want to fix your life? Fix your thoughts. Not just one day. Not just when life punches you in the face. Daily, every morning, every time the old programming creeps in, every time the self-doubt tries to crawl back, you fight. You counterattack. You remind yourself of who you are, what you want, and where you're going. Controlling your mind doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means not letting fear run the show. It means acknowledging the problem, but not bowing to it. It means looking at the mountain and saying, you might be big, but I've got the mindset to climb you. It means when the pressure hits, you don't fold, you focus. That's the edge. That's what separates the average from the unstoppable. It's not talent, it's not luck. It's that invisible war, the one fought in silence, when nobody's watching, when your old habits are screaming at you to stay the same. Your environment's important, Your habits are critical, your actions matter, but nothing matters more than the story you tell yourself about who you are and what you can become. You can have the best tools, the best strategies, the best opportunities, but if your mind is cluttered with chaos, you'll sabotage it all. You'll shrink when you should stretch. You'll hesitate when you should strike. You'll settle when you should soar. So control your mind, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. That's when it counts. When you're tired, when you're doubting, when everything in you wants to quit, that's when you lean in and take command, because if you don't win the war up there, you'll lose everywhere else. What you say isn't just noise, it's a blueprint. Every word you speak is either building a foundation or digging a ditch. Most people talk like their mouth is on autopilot, like words don't carry weight, but your mouth is a weapon. It can cut through fear or it can cut through your own future. It can lift you or destroy you. And the craziest part? Most of the damage people take in life comes from their own tongue. Not because of what others said, because of what they said to themselves and about themselves, over and over again. Think about it. You don't just say what you believe, you start to believe what you say. Speak defeat long enough and eventually you'll stop even trying to win. Say things like, I'm tired, I'm broke, I always mess things up. And your subconscious treats it like a command, listens, it believes you, and it adjusts your energy, your confidence, your actions to match what you spoke. The tongue sets direction, like a steering wheel. Say you're lost, and you'll stay lost. Say you're a fighter, and you'll start swinging. People don't realize how often they curse their own progress with casual language. They joke about being lazy, about not being able to succeed, about never having money. They say it in passing, like it doesn't matter, but your brain is always listening. And repetition is how belief is built. So when you keep saying these things, even as a joke, you're building walls around your own potential. You're normalizing mediocrity in your own mind. Some people are walking around with a billion-dollar idea, a world-changing purpose, a fire inside of them, and your mouth is throwing water on it every single day. It's too hard. Nobody's going to listen. I'm not good enough. That mouth of yours can be your breakthrough or your breakdown. Because when you speak fear, you invite more fear. But when you speak faith, when you say, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm coming, or this setback isn't the end of me, that kind of language reprograms your mind, your body, and your spirit to rise. And it's not just what you say to yourself, it's what you say about others. Some people talk like gossip is harmless, but here's the secret. It doesn't just poison the person you're talking about, it poisons you. When your mouth is constantly judging, blaming, comparing, you're training your brain to stay small. You can't speak envy all day and then expect to wake up inspired. You can't talk about how much someone else has and then wonder why you feel stuck. Your language reveals your focus, and your focus fuels your life. If your mouth is full of criticism, your life will be full of chaos. If your mouth is full of doubt, your life will be full of delay. But when your words align with vision, with purpose, with growth, everything shifts. That's why champions speak differently. You don't waste time talking about problems, you speak solutions. They don't say, I can't. They say, I will figure it out. They don't say, I'm stuck. They say, this is temporary. Because they know their words are not just sound. They're seeds. And what you plant is what grows. You've got to develop a filter between your brain and your lips. Just because you think it doesn't mean you need to say it. And it didn't mean you need to say it. Just because it feels true doesn't mean it needs to leave your mouth. Speak with discipline. Speak with direction. Speak like your words are investments. Because they are. They're shaping your identity, they're shaping your relationships, they're shaping your momentum. And here's the hard truth. The higher you go, the more dangerous your words become. The more influence you get, the more power your voice holds. That's why you see people rise fast and fall faster, because they never learned how to shut up when silence was smarter. You don't always need to clap back. You don't always need to explain yourself. Sometimes your silence is more powerful than 1,000 clever comebacks. Self-control isn't just about what you do, it's about what you say and what you don't say. Don't confuse honesty with recklessness. Telling it like it is doesn't mean throwing negativity all over your goals, your dreams, or your team. Speak truth, but speak life. Say, this is where we are, but this isn't where we're staying. Say, I messed up, but I'm not staying down. That kind of language doesn't ignore reality, it redefines it. It says, yeah, the facts are real, but so is my fire, so is my fight, so is my future. You want to change your results? Change your vocabulary. Cut the victim talk. Cut the excuses. Cut the self-hate. Speak like someone who respects their own potential. Speak like someone who knows they were built for more. Speak like someone who's already seen the future and knows they're going to dominate it. Because when you talk like that, your energy shifts, your posture changes. You don't need to wait until you feel powerful to speak powerfully. You speak powerfully, and the power follows. The way you handle money is a direct reflection of how you handle yourself, your habits, your beliefs, and your discipline. It doesn't matter how much you make. Money shows the truth about your mindset. It's not just paper, coins, or numbers on a screen. Money is a mirror that reflects everything you believe about yourself and your worth. It reflects how much you value your time, your work, and your future. It shows how deeply you understand that money is just a tool, not the end goal. But if you treat it like an enemy, like a limited resource, it will never serve you the way it's meant to. Money's supposed to work for you, not the other way around. But if your mindset is broken, so is your relationship with it. The first thing people need to understand is that money doesn't make you, it amplifies you. If you are undisciplined, money will just make you more reckless. If you're generous, it will give you more opportunities to serve. If you're shallow, it will expose that. If you're driven, it will accelerate your efforts. But the key is, the amount of money in your life is a mirror to how you view your potential and the level of mastery you have over your mind. If you believe there's never enough, your life will reflect scarcity. If you see abundance, your life will reflect opportunity. It's all about your perspective. When people say they want more money, what they really mean is they want more freedom, more choices, more security. But wanting money without understanding it is like trying to run a race with no training. You'll burn out, you'll waste your energy, and you'll end up right back where you started. Money isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. And the first step to that is learning how to handle it. Most people don't learn financial discipline until they're in a crisis. But by then, it's often too late. Habits have already been ingrained, the mindset has already been built, and they're too far down a path of financial chaos to turn it around easily. But it's not just about budgeting, saving, and investing. Those are important. But they come after understanding the root of why you make certain financial decisions in the first place. What does your relationship with money say about you? Is money the thing you're constantly chasing, or is it the tool you use to build the life you want? The richest people in the world are not the ones who hoard money. They are the ones who understand that it's just a means to an end. They use money to amplify their purpose, to build wealth not just for themselves, but for others. They understand that the more they help others, the more opportunities come back to them. The mirror also reflects your habits. When you're broke, it's easy to blame the world. You might say, there aren't any good opportunities. Or, it's impossible to get ahead in this economy. But the truth is, your financial situation is the result of your choices, the way you manage your time, the way you spend your energy. Are you investing in your future or your present distractions? How many times do you drop money on things you don't need, things that give you temporary pleasure but don't add long-term value? Every dollar spent is either an investment or an expense. And the habits you create around money will dictate how fast you move toward your goals or away from them. And let's talk about scarcity for a second. It's one of the biggest lies people believe about money. Scarcity mentality will keep you stuck in the cycle of not enough. It's the mindset that tells you that there's never enough to go around, that you have to fight for every penny, that the rich are somehow taking from the poor, and that you're always at a disadvantage. But money doesn't operate in scarcity. Money is always in flow. It's just about aligning yourself with the opportunities that bring it into your life. Scarcity mentality locks you into survival mode, but abundance mindset unlocks creativity, innovation, and endless possibilities. The world is filled with opportunities for those who choose to see them, but if your mirror is clouded with scarcity thinking, you'll miss them. Then there's the issue of fear. Fear of losing it, fear of not having enough, fear of investing, fear of what people will think if you succeed. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that keeps people from ever becoming financially free. People work hard their whole lives, and yet when they get money, they're terrified to take risks. They hide it, they hoard it. They put it in places that don't grow it, because the fear of losing it feels more real than the possibility of growing it. But fear is what keeps you stuck. You have to get comfortable with taking calculated risks and stepping outside of your comfort zone. The richest people don't sit on their money. They make it work for them. They invest, they expand, they leverage. The only way to grow your wealth is to risk your comfort. The fear of losing money keeps people trapped in mediocrity. Your relationship with money also mirrors how you view your own worth. People who don't think they deserve more will stay stuck in the same financial patterns. They think that struggle is their natural state, that making it is for someone else, that they don't have what it takes to build wealth. But the truth is, money is a direct reflection of the value you add to the world. If you're not making the money you want, it's time to assess how you're providing value. If you're not making the money you want, it's time to assess how you're providing value. Are you offering something that people are willing to pay for? Are you solving problems? Are you creating opportunities? The more value you give, the more money will flow to you. You've got to shift your mindset from one of scarcity and fear to one of value and possibility. At the end of the day, money doesn't define you, it reveals you. It shows you what you believe about abundance, about success, about the opportunities available to you. It's not about how much you have, it's about how you think about what you have and what you can do with it. Money isn't the root of all evil, it's the tool that amplifies your decisions. And when you master your relationship with money, you unlock a whole new level of possibility. In a world that's constantly pulling in 1,000 different directions, the ability to control your impulses, emotions, and actions is more valuable than any skill or talent you can possess. It's not the loudest person in the room or the one with the most flashy ideas. It's the one who has the power to delay gratification, who can hold back when everyone else is reacting, who knows how to keep their emotions in check when pressure mounts. Self-control is what separates the people who achieve greatness from those who watch from the sidelines. Every day, you face a battle of choice. The choice between doing what's easy and doing what's right. The choice between short-term pleasure and long-term growth. The choice between giving into frustration or pushing through. Most people fail at this battle because they lack the discipline to choose the right path consistently. Instead, they give in to their emotions, they let the moment dictate their actions, and they justify it by saying, "I deserve this," or "it's too hard." But the truth is, every time you give in to that immediate gratification, you're sacrificing your future. Every time you let your emotions rule you, you're putting your long-term goals at risk. When you master self-control, you don't just become more disciplined, you become more powerful. Power doesn't come from being impulsive or reacting to every situation as it arises. Power comes from being able to control your reactions, to decide when to act, when to pause, and when to take a step back. It comes from knowing that in every moment, you have the choice. And once you realize that, you unlock a level of mastery over your life that most people will never reach. Self-control isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. It's the freedom to choose the best version of yourself in every situation. Self-control applies to everything. Your habits, your responses, your financial decisions, your relationships, your health. You want to lose weight? Self-control will get you there. You want to save money? Self-control will make it happen. You want to succeed in business and your career, in life? It's all about the ability to stay the course when things get difficult. When you're tempted to skip the gym, when you're tempted to spend money you don't have, when you're tempted to let your emotions drive your decisions, self-control is the muscle that keeps you on track. It's the ability to delay immediate gratification for something bigger and better in the future. It's so easy to get distracted by the noise. Social media, breaking news, the latest trends, all these distractions pull you away from your goals. The world wants you to be reactive, to jump from one thing to the next, to get caught up in the drama and chaos. But people who succeed don't get distracted by every shiny object. They stay focused on what matters. They know that their time is limited, and every moment spent on something that doesn't contribute to their bigger vision is a moment wasted. They don't get caught up in pointless arguments, unnecessary drama, or superficial things. They know that true power comes from being able to focus on what matters and saying no to everything else. Self-control also requires you to be able to face your emotions. We live in a world that tells you to act on your feelings, to be true to yourself by giving in to every impulse. But acting on every feeling is not self-control. It's weakness. Emotions are real, but they are not always reliable guides for decision-making. When you're angry, you might want to lash out. When you're stressed, you might want to escape or numb the feeling. When you're tired, you might want to quit. But self-control is about knowing that your emotions are just a passing moment, and they don't define who you are or what you do. You can feel something without being ruled by it. The best way to build self-control is to make it a daily practice. Every choice you make is an opportunity to strengthen your willpower. When you say no to that second dessert, when you resist the urge to check your phone for the 100th time, when you stay focused on your work even though the temptation to procrastinate is strong, that's where the magic happens. Every time you choose discipline over impulse, you are building the muscle of self-control, and just like any other muscle, it grows stronger with use. The more you exercise self-control, the easier it becomes to make the right choice. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. And eventually, it becomes part of who you are, so deeply ingrained in your behavior that you don't even have to think about it anymore. You just do it. Self-control isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about acknowledging that you will slip up, but that doesn't define you. The key is not to beat yourself up when you make a mistake, is to get back on track as soon as possible. Life is not a straight line, and neither is growth. There will be setbacks, there will be moments when you lose focus, but the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful ones don't stay down for long. They don't allow one mistake to derail them. They get back up, they keep moving, and they use each failure as a lesson to get better. The world will test your self-control. It will offer you distractions, temptations, and excuses at every turn, but how you respond to these tests will determine your future. Do you let the distractions pull you off course, or do you stay focused on your goals? Do you let your emotions dictate your actions, or do you choose to respond with discipline and clarity? When you learn to control yourself, you unlock the ability to control your destiny. Self-control is the superpower that allows you to do the things others aren't willing to do. To show up every day, to keep pushing when things get tough, to stay focused on your vision even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. In a world that values instant gratification, self-control is rare. It's a differentiator. It's the thing that sets you apart from the crowd, the thing that allows you to create the life you want instead of reacting to the life that comes at you. You have the power to control your actions, to master your emotions, and to make decisions that will propel you forward. Self-control is the foundation of all greatness, and it's available to anyone willing to cultivate it. When you look at your life, you see the result of every decision you've ever made. Your career, your relationships, your health, your finances. These are all shaped by the choices you've made along the way. The power of choice is the most underrated and underutilized force in the world. People often feel like they're at the mercy of their circumstances, their environment, or the people around them. They feel like they don't have control over the direction of their life, when in reality, the decisions they make every day are steering the ship. Every choice, big or small, accumulates into the life you live today, and the choices you make moving forward will shape the future you experience. Most people live life in autopilot mode. They let their habits dictate their actions without thinking about the consequences. They wake up, go through the motions, make the same decisions, and expect a different outcome. This is the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting change is the most common trap that people fall into. They might complain about their situation, but they don't take responsibility for the choices they've made that led them there. If you want to change your life, you have to understand that your life is a series of decisions. It's a constant stream of choices that compound over time. These choices are powerful, and they determine the course of your life. One of the most powerful choices you can make is the decision to take responsibility for everything in your life. This doesn't mean blaming yourself for every hardship or mistake. It means accepting that you have the power to change your situation. The moment you take responsibility for your choices, you take control of your life. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the creator of your reality. This shift in mindset is the first step toward transformation. You cannot change anything in your life until you take ownership of it. Blaming your environment, your upbringing, or other people for your situation only keeps you stuck. Once you realize that every decision, even the ones you've regretted, has been yours, you empower yourself to make better ones in the future. The power of choice doesn't just apply to the big decisions, it applies to the small ones too. People often think that life-altering decisions are the ones that define their future, but it's the small, everyday choices that have the most significant impact. The choice to hit snooze on your alarm and stay in bed instead of waking up early to work on your goals. The choice to spend money on things that don't add value to your life. The choice to engage in negative self-talk or gossip. It's these small decisions that shape your life in ways you can't always see right away. But over time, these choices compound, and they build the life you have. Many people get stuck in a cycle of procrastination, indecision, or fear, which keeps them from making the choices they need to make in order to move forward. They're afraid of making the wrong decision, so they make no decision at all. But inaction is a choice too, and it often leads to missed opportunities and regret. The fear of making the wrong choice often paralyzes people, but the truth is, there's no such thing as a perfect decision. Every choice comes with risk, uncertainty, and potential failure, but making no choice at all guarantees stagnation. The most successful people in the world understand that making a decision is more important than making the perfect decision. They know that failure is a part of the process, and they embrace it as a learning experience rather than a setback. It's important to remember that not every choice will have immediate consequences, but every choice has a long-term effect. The things you do today will echo in your future. It's easy to overlook the power of small choices when they don't seem to have an immediate impact. But those small decisions, made repeatedly, shape your habits, your beliefs, and ultimately, your life. The decision to exercise for 20 minutes a day might not seem like it's going to change your life tomorrow, but over time, it can transform your health, The decision to save a little bit of money every month might not make you rich overnight, but it can build your financial security over time. The decision to learn something new every day might not lead to immediate success, but it will set you up for greater opportunities in the future. Another crucial aspect of making powerful choices is learning to prioritize what matters most. Too many people spend their time and energy on things that don't serve their bigger vision. They get caught up in distractions, in people-pleasing, in chasing short-term gratification, while the things that truly matter, the things that will create lasting change, get pushed to the side. The key to making better choices is understanding your priorities. What are the most important things in your life? What do you want to achieve? Once you know what truly matters, it becomes easier to say no to the things that don't align with your goals. And this is where most people go wrong. They don't have a clear understanding of what they want, so they waste time on things that don't matter, and they end up feeling unfulfilled and stuck. In order to make better choices, you must also learn how to manage your emotions. Emotions are powerful, but they can also cloud your judgment. If you let fear, anger, or frustration dictate your choices, you'll end up making decisions that don't align with your long-term goals. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is this decision aligned with my values and my vision for the future? When you learn to make decisions from a place of calm and clarity rather than emotional reaction, your choices will be more intentional and purposeful. Emotions are not to be suppressed, but rather understood and channeled in a way that serves you, not controls you. The choices you make also determine your level of success. Success isn't something that just happens. It's something you create by making the right choices over time. Success is built on daily actions, on making decisions that move you closer to your goals, no matter how small those steps may seem. It's about building momentum and staying consistent in the face of challenges. The people who succeed are the ones who consistently make the right choices. You choose growth over comfort. You choose discipline over distraction. And you choose to keep going even when things get tough. Every successful person has faced setbacks. But what separates them from others is that they continued making choices that moved them forward, even when failure seemed inevitable. Your choices are the ultimate reflection of your character. They show who you are, what you value, and what you're willing to fight for. If you want to change your life, start with the decisions you make every day. You have the power to create the life you desire by simply choosing to make better decisions. And that's the most empowering realization you can have. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are a product of your choices. The journey to mastering your mind, mouth, and money is one of continuous growth, awareness, and discipline. The choices you make, the way you manage your emotions, and the way you control your impulses directly shape the life you live. Your mind is the foundation for everything that follows. If you can control your thoughts, you can control your actions. What you say and how you communicate is a direct reflection of your inner state, your beliefs, and your understanding of the power of your words. Similarly, your relationship with money is a mirror of your mindset and self-discipline, revealing what you truly believe about abundance and success. As you take control of your life, remember that the true power lies in your ability to make conscious decisions. The daily choices you make, no matter how small, accumulate over time to create the future you experience. Self-control isn't about restriction, but about freedom. Freedom to make decisions aligned with your long-term goals and vision. It is the foundation of all success, from building financial stability to fostering personal growth. Your life is the result of your choices. By choosing to embrace discipline, responsibility, and focus, you transform your path and set yourself up for a future that reflects your true potential. As you move forward, understand that control over your mind, mouth, and money is not a destination, but a lifelong journey of self-mastery. Every moment holds the opportunity to choose, and in those choices you create the life you've always wanted.